Welcome to the 14th episode of Mindshift. As some of you know, Mindshift is my video series where I present you with powerful perspectives from outstanding people so that you can live your life with more joy, determination, and prosperity. Today's guest is a founder of Leader Academy and Talent Factory. He's an angel investor and he's a group CEO of Dynamis Consultancy. But the most important thing for him is that he's one of the most optimistic and serving-oriented person who I know. And we are going to talk about optimism and some other things in this direction. I'm delighted to welcome Marian Temelkov.
Hi guys,
Welcome,
thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure and honor to be part of your 14th series.
Yes, it's a
Keep it going.
one.
It's about consistency. You know, it's not about intensity. Keep spreading good, man. That is great.
Thank you very much, man. So, is there something else you want to say about yourself before we start? Because I give you this introduction, so maybe you have something to add.
What else? Maybe a few things what I like doing, a few hobbies. Who am I? My journey started, arrived in the UK when I was a teenager. At age of 16, I left school prematurely. In fact, I don't have a high school diploma, to be blunt with you. I went straight for bachelor and master. So, you know, it was quite a journey. At the age of 14, decided I want to pursue education internationally. And it took me 2 years, mainly self-preparation initially, which was tough, difficult. But the desire was so high, and you know, it was really a dream, kind of a dreamer. I am a dreamer in many ways, and you know, at the age of 16, I arrived here in the UK by myself. There was no one to meet. I lost my luggage in the first day of arrival. And I went to the university. The university got worried because I was the youngest in the actual program. So it was not even 17, and you had a minimum age requirement, which for some reason they didn't work out. But thankfully they accepted me. And I started basically studying here, and it was tough. You know, it was really not easy, but you know what? That's what taught me a great lesson. Don't avoid the difficult situations. You know, when you arrive basically in a place, in a new environment, it's like you're getting naked, you know, and you have to learn your way and start dressing up and understand how
It's okay.
Hi, I'm back. And understand obviously how things work, and you start to basically find your way. But you know what? That's the joy of it, to discover. And that was always my drive here. Discover, curiosity, go beyond your horizon of what you know. And but when you do that, there's a lot of consequences you need to face, which is a lot of inconvenience, because you'll be out of your zone of comfort. And when you learn actually to embrace the tough or difficult situations, this is when you grow most. This is really a great moment. So just in a few words, I do two things mainly with Dynamis Group in here. We help people, with two main things. The strategic network, and we help them hire great teams. But beyond that, all of this is focused on making a positive impact on communities, on countries through business, and often help leaders do things they've never done before. That's what we focus. In where I spend my last, my 20 years, the inspiration came from my personal experience from teenage years. Started very young, and I wanted to help a lot of young people be exposed to really a different way, especially back in the days, coming from Bulgaria post-communist, really to UK, where you see a very different world. It inspired me to help many young people have access to really new places, new horizons, and I start helping a lot of them. Personally, many of one I've helped with the applications, accepted to university, and I see a lot of them go through their journeys, which inspired me to start Lear Academy. And it's a journey of almost 20 years by now, where I've dedicated my life, time, energy, investments, and will probably take a lot more to make something extraordinary. But it's a lifetime course. It's not something you do over 1 or 2 years.
I love this long-term view you have, Marian. I just wanted to ask you this. What was the reason to decide? I got really curious to not finish high school, but just immediately go out of Bulgaria to study in university. What is the reason for that?
You know what? A lot of people said, why don't you stay an extra year? Back in the days, you study until grade 11, and then there was no grade 12 in Bulgarian system. So I said I was grade 10, and I didn't even finish that. I said, you know what? I'm going to have to go and prepare because I didn't speak any English, so I had to learn English within 6 months. So I had to basically, go to British Council in Varna. Why Varna? To be on the opposite end of the country, which is most people know we live in one of the most beautiful places in the Pyrenean Mountain, the southwest part, and where I was born. So for me, where I was in that beautiful part, in comfortable life, coming from a family of entrepreneurs, I had a great opportunities to stay and help. From early days, I was involved in a family business. I was leading the labeling department and the manufacturing. So I was a responsible person from that age. It was like 20 people were depending on my role of being able to. I was a machine kind of expert. I was trained to manage a labeling machine, in that sense, which basically made the whole thing operate. And I was basically, at early days, I was privileged and lucky to be exposed to many different things, with my dad traveling and taking me to negotiations in some other countries, visiting from early days, inspired me to go beyond family business and stay and settle with what has been already achieved by my family. It wasn't something that satisfied me. It was not. I'm not the type of person that would have wanted to inherit something. I wanted to do something by myself, and something meaningful, something that I believe in, that I'm convinced, and I wanted to explore and discover other countries, other world, and I wanted to do it as soon as possible. I didn't want to wait for 2. I mean, bear in mind, I was preparing for 2 years. At the age of 14, I started thinking, dreaming, visualizing, working towards preparing. It had many tough moments, including not letting me go. I mean, they declined a visit first stage, and they said you have to wait 6 months, which I would have missed everything. And it was a long story, but we managed to get it and go through with a couple of weeks delay arriving. And I didn't have a clue where I was. All these guys coming from American universities, from Dubai, from Greece, they all had very strong educational, English kind of literature and educational background. I had 3 months in Varna and self-preparation for a year and a few months, but it was just, self-taught. So, you know what? I said, why wait another year? What am I going to gain? I was not believing in just getting the certificate. For me, it was not that. It was more getting the value of doing something that you're really passionate and you want to, which was very unusual, but I was blessed that my family was supportive. So I didn't have to convince them to stay an extra year. I said, you know what, if we can go, we can go. And you know what? I was probably, they didn't know much about the Bulgarian education, so they accepted me without high school diploma.
So the brave, they have also luck, right? When you're brave, you get the luck after that.
It was a combination of things, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I always believed that luck is For me, at least, that's my opinion. It doesn't exist. Just the people who are willing to really go into the risky situation, that they're willing to really go and be brave, they're going to find the so-called luck. But this is an example that you didn't think about it. Said, I'm going to get it. I don't know how. I'm going to give everything which I can. And actually, at some point, even the things which might stay on your way, they didn't. Because you had the energy and the determination to get it, right? And you could say even the optimism, which was the idea of today's talk. We talk about this one, that because I haven't seen you, face to face very, many times. But the times I've seen you, which were in the Leader Academy camp or on the airport, sometimes I always saw that you had this drive. Always, you have always driven and always have this optimistic, positive view on everything. And I know people who know you very well, and they always say that this is your trademark. They say, Marian, wow, he's really optimistic person. So tell me, was there always you were optimistic, or something happened to become optimistic in your life?
It may be a combination of the two, I think. It's, I guess, people have different, it depends how you're raised, but it also has something in it. Probably part of it is to do with your DNA and genes, maybe. But I also believe that you can become much more optimistic than if you were. It's a perception. And for me, I choose to look at, well, for me, I look at the positive first. So in any situation, even when I meet someone, I tend to look at the good side of this person. I know we all have good and bad sides, or, we all have done things that we may not be proud of. But the thing is, what do you concentrate on? Do you concentrate on the fact that, hey, I didn't do something that did work out, and do I have to talk negative about it, or do I focus on, what, I didn't do something, or I want to become better at it, and this is a great lesson for me. So for me, it's been really a choice, and I think everybody can make that choice. And there's a specific way you do that, because people need to learn not, first of all, to talk bad to themselves. Don't criticize yourself. You've done the best at that moment. You may not be proud of what you did, but you can change it. You can change your perception. You can change anything. But we're not here to change you. What we are saying is, you're the only one who can choose what you want to become. It's a choice. It's a perception. Your reality is different to my reality and to everyone's reality. But you make the choice.
Yeah.
And someone said to me, it was this an interesting example of I watch obviously these extraordinary people and stories, and there was one that was saying about how do you become a SEAL, the most elite force basically in the world. What kind of character? What makes you that? And what I found is not the people who have the biggest muscles. It's not the people who seem the fastest at school and they win these championships. They're the first one to go. It could be these people that are scared, that are shaking, that are, these are the ones that can make it. And I'll tell you what makes the difference.
Wow.
They're very specific ones. So that should encourage you as well. And this is, first of all, always find strength within you to do the right thing. First of all, don't quit. If you quit, nothing's going to happen. Because a lot of people try a lot of things in their life or continuously try new things, and they never stick with something. They never make an impact.
No.
You got to choose, test a few, but choose one and stick to it. And don't quit. Be consistent. And choose to do the right thing. How do you do the right thing? Is by asking yourself, what I do, is that something that wants to be done to me? You always know what's the right thing to do. It may be difficult, though. It may be tough. But that's what makes the most elite forces. To do the right thing, and one more thing. Not only to do the right thing, but to find the strength to help others when you are completely empty and you have no much strength in yourself.
Wow.
And that's what makes you elite. So don't avoid those situations. When you're in a very tough situation, these are the things to go by. And it's not easy. We're all humans. We have feelings. But and I do get, of course, upset. I do get angry like everyone else. But I don't stay in that for long. I can be 30 minutes, an hour. Don't stay for too long. Don't waste your day of staying in a situation or state that you may not be happy with. Change it, and you can.
How do you change it, Marian? What you do when you are in this situation? I guess, as you said, you are down from time to time in your life and in your work.
Of course,
What do you do? What do you do? Do you have something specific you do in these situations for yourself?
Absolutely.
Or is every time different?
No. There are specific things you can do. Very specific things, and more people can discover that. But first thing is start with your physical state. Okay, physical. If you're not feeling well, find the strength to go out for a walk. Movement. I'll ask you to do a test. Can you do squat jumps and smile like this and try to cry at the same time? No. So what it does say that you can't basically, you can make these movements that immediately got your blood going. It's essential. I know it doesn't feel like this when you want to feel, and normally what you can do is eat chocolate. It allows for that. You can do sometimes, but not every day. Go out for a walk, go out for a training, and you may have headache, but you'll be amazed. Another good thing you can do is in that situation, take a shower and gradually increase to cold. Take a cold shower for 10 seconds, 15, it will wake you up. It will shock the body. It's also very good for your heart. Cold showers really help your heart strengthen. So these are 2-3 physical things you can do. Put your legs in hot water. That's also another good thing you can do. So these are little things that you can take care of the body, okay? And also think about something. If I had no limits, what would excite me right now?
Wow.
Think about right now. If I had no limits, right, I feel really down. But what would excite me? Some people might excite him having a burger.
Yes.
Go and get a burger.
Yeah.
Do something that will excite you for the soul. So physical, you start, and then start thinking about things that excites you. Think about something you always wanted. Start dreaming, visualizing details, and you know what excites you, because when you think about it, it gives you energy. If you smile when you think of something, then that excites you. Think about what excites me right now, despite everything else. So what I was saying, your thoughts, we're bombarded with 90% of 95, I don't know how many negativity from media and everything else. So you got to shut down a few of those, and just first of all, just consciously realize where you are. And there's one of my vision and dreams to build even a human development lab where people actually can start to consciously learn their bodies and discover. And you know what? You can, if you have a problem, there's a specific way to solve it. You start basically write a problem on one side of a paper and write the solutions on the other side. Is what you think first. So start thinking of the problem. This is my problem. What solutions do I think of? What assets do I have to solve the problem? Then, if still doesn't help, go and say, what other people have written about this subject? There are people who've probably committed their lifetime to research your problem or similar problem. Find out what they say. You can be deliberate. That's what I mean. You need to be deliberate. You cannot leave yourself. You must have a system that you get back to normal, to get back to your state. Learn that. And start basically design of what you want. Dreaming. Start dreaming. Be
Mm.
excited about the things. And when you be excited, it's amazing what happens, because you start to visualize something that you really want and care. But you need to say, why do I want that? Is it because of my own self convenience? Or is it because I think that can solve a problem? Both are okay. But in order to get what you want, you must help others. People don't care of what you want. People care of what you give.
Yes.
They care about your seed. So always ask yourself, if you're not happy with where you are in life, you can ask yourself, what do I give to this world? You go out and say, I want to have whatever, airplane, Ferrari, whatever. And the world says to you, who is this lunatic who actually wants this, who wants this kind of great things and he's giving nothing in return?
No.
It's consistent. Start adding value, start helping others. And you should be asking a question, who do I need to become in order to get that? Who do I need to become? What do I need to do? How can I serve better to get
Absolutely,
to
man.
get to the things I want? What network do I need to develop? Be deliberate. Who are the people I need to become friends with or network with? These are the questions. Have a plan. Because if you don't have a plan, I'll tell you what's going to happen. You will follow someone else's plan.
Yes.
Okay? So
Yes.
this is what people need to say. Be a student. Don't be a follower.
No. That's a
You
really
can
way.
choose the things you want to follow rather than just follow it blindly. Choose consciously. I want to follow this because I understand. I've done my thing of research.
Lovely, man. Thank you very much for this thorough explanation of my questions I gave you. As I understood, your definition of optimism is conscious choice, that you can choose to be optimistic, and you can choose to be optimistic by the way you think and communicate not only with yourself but also with other people and the world.
And the words you say, it's very important what words you say. If you say to other people, if you complain about something, that's negative talk. You got to be very deliberate in asking yourself, am I talking negatively here to me and to anyone else? With everything you do you swear? These things are important. You got to be thinking of exactly what you say, because this, when you say it, it becomes in your mind. So the words, the language you use, I can by looking at someone, I can tell you, the language they use, the way they behave, can very quickly tell you where they are. Because a good tree cannot give bad fruits, and a bad tree cannot give good fruits. So think about that. Where am I? What am I giving?
Lovely, man. I have this misconception I want to ask you, because people talk about optimism. We know that optimistic point of view can help us in our life. There is no doubt about this. But some people are a little bit skeptical when they say, where you are super optimistic, you are not realistic about the situation. What do you think about this one?
I love that question. I'll tell you exactly what I think. You know what? This is my reality, and I choose to make it a reality. Your reality is different. Keep it to yourself. My reality is different, and I will make it. That's it. It's my choice, and I've proven every time. Yes, it may be tough. I've gone through many tough situations, but I'm not going to accept somebody saying this is not realistic. Well, it's not realistic to you, but not to me. And that's the difference.
So this is you saying that realistic is subjective. It's not some objective realistic thing.
Absolutely. I'll tell you something different, and I've proven it personally. I live an example. Maybe because we came through a different way, and we influenced by the way we uprise and so forth. Because we're told what we can and cannot do. Question everything that you're told.
Wow.
Yeah, and challenge it.
What about that, right?
Who said that you can't do? Who? Why?
Yes.
How? On what basis you are saying that? Maybe you can't do it with what you know right now, but if you learn more, you actually may figure out that you can do it.
Wow. I have a goosebumps, man. That was really great explanation, I think. It's lovely the way you share it with us, and definitely this misconception is making people really skeptical even about life, because as you said, someone else, maybe some authority when you are a child, said this is right, this is the reality, this is not the reality, and then you just start trusting in that without even asking the question, as you said, is that right, or is just person's reality based on their experience or maybe their beliefs, which were brought by maybe their father or their teacher, history teacher, or whatever.
And don't blame them. My
Yeah.
here is to say accept them. You know why? Because that's what they know. That's what their
Mm,
limit is. But doesn't mean they should be your limit too. You should surpass your parents. You should find a way to excel, to do better than them. I mean, we live in the best time ever. We have opportunities that are so abundant that if you're conscious and if you look around, it's full of opportunities. You can do
absolutely.
anything you want. However, you need to ask your question, in order to get to where you want and to do, you got to be thinking of what value do I give? So not the question is how do I get 5 million or 10 million? Because the question is, how can I become more valuable with my seed and what I do? What problem can I solve? And you got to be prepared to do it, not just to try. It's not if you just try and doesn't work in 3 months, well, you quit and give up. I can tell you it's not going to work. If you have that mindset, it's not going to work.
No, man.
You got to
It's
say, I'm
definitely.
going to make it, no matter what it takes, but I'll figure it out. Start writing the problems, see what you want to solve, and ask yourself, why? Well, this is also known as finding a purpose, finding something meaningful that's going to really drive you in the tough times and get you through the winters. Because you got to learn. You got to learn to know that there are seasons, and if each season is different, and you got to learn how to get through the winters, and that's basically important. What books, what skills, what and you got to find things that really excites you in life. There's so many things you can pick a physical, you can pick a mental, you can pick financial, many kind of things you can pick, and in every area is important in life.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I love this one. I will ask you just 2, 3 more questions, which I'm really curious about before we finish. The first one is, tell me if there is one thing people can do today in order to become a little bit more optimistic in life. What can be this thing?
I can think of several ones, but if there's one thing that they can do to become more optimistic in life is to be generous.
So how this is helping you?
I'll tell you something. It's not an easy one, because if they want to do one thing to be optimistic, donate 10% of your income. And that's the first thing you do. Any income, if you get 10 left, give 1. If you get 100, give 10. And you'll see what's going to happen. Or if you don't have money to give time. Time is more precious than money. That's one thing that can make a difference. Generosity makes amazing. I would love to see Bulgaria to get back on its feet and to become a missionary nation again, because we are the ones that actually spread the Cyrillic. And if you listen to some of the songs for 24th of May, it tells you how you do it, with science, with love, with care, with helping other nations. So generosity is very powerful, because if you give, even if you don't have enough, start giving. that's basically going to change your mindset from unhappy or whatever something into abundant.
Abundance, yeah. That you have enough. What you're saying exactly is that you always have enough. You always have to give. You always have abundance. And it's not about the scarcity, because this is one of the things which I think is the most
One thing I
detrimental.
want to give more scientific explanation, if you have a few more minutes to
we have.
tell the audience, because they think what makes you happy. Obviously, we all strive for happiness, but they are I checked and looked at the body and looked at what actually goes inside us, because there are things that the hormones that are they're important, and how do you get them? It's important for you to feel fulfilled and happy, and there are 4 hormones that are important, basically, for your happiness and well-being. That's a chemical. That's what's scientific. First is endorphin. The endorphin, you get it from laughing, from basically if you hurt yourself something, you can get an injection. You can get it's a temporary, basically, repair, healing, but the problem doesn't go away. But we all need it. So that's why we get attracted by people who are funny and basically makes us laugh, right? Because you get this hormone, right? The other thing is dopamine. Dopamine is highly addictive, and you get it from pleasures in life. You can get it from good food, from traveling, from sex, from whatever makes, you could get it from also using your phone and gambling. It's highly addictive. Smoking weed, whatever. You can get all this, but bear in mind, it's super addictive. And people get this by achieving their goal and then earning a bonus and then wants another bonus. It's like a shot of happiness that's injected. That's why people, you might see why they stay in a situation with someone that they don't match, because they get dopamine. But that's not enough. Endorphin and dopamine is not enough to make you fulfilled. The next one is serotonin. The serotonin is the leadership hormone, and this is where it comes to do the right thing. And by doing the right thing, you learn, grow, share, and your status is starting to be recognized for what you do, for who you are by other. You say, this person is really good, I like what he does, and you get this but you get it because you do the right thing. You can fake it, but it's going to haunt you. And faking it means people drive Rolls Royce and whatever airplanes, but if they rob many other people and they've done so many things that are actually unjustifiable, and they know how they got rich, it's going to haunt them. They know they've not done the right thing to get to the status they are. So they can't fake it. So it's not going to work for them. So I can tell you that thing. It can only work if you do the right thing. And the last one is oxytocin. This comes from love, trust, friendship, and generosity. Time, not money. What does it sound better? I donated 1,000 euros to a charity, or I spent actually my weekend helping painting a school in a underprivileged area. Wow. Well, it sounds the time. Time is more precious than money. So that's why I chose to give you my time. With what I do. And this is what I'll say to people. It's not just about money. If you become generous to others, you'll change your world. Be consistent.
Consistent is important,
Smile. If you just do it one smile. Do it with a coffee. Buy someone coffee if you have the chance. If not, just do generosity. Go and help a school. Go and volunteer. Do something, but be consistent and deliberate.
Absolutely.
And so you need all of those called ETSO: endorphin, dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. And when you fire up all of those cylinders, you'll be flying.
Love it, man. Thank you very much for that.
But you got to be deliberate. So this is a scientific way that
very, very, very well to explain to people, not only, but you need to be generous because generous is good, but why this actually is helpful, not only for your, chemical happiness state, but also for other people. And that absolutely I agree that, especially when you talk about oxytocin, we definitely see that this is maybe the hormone which is you could say it to blame for our development as a human beings, because this is the hormone of creating this community with people and being
Absolutely.
together and helping each other and going to the to the higher levels of evolution we have right now. So definitely I agree on that. And
Remember, you get what you sorry, one
I
last
hear.
thing about you
No.
get in life what you deserve.
I love that.
So if you're not happy with what you're getting, change your actions. And if you're still not happy, change your actions. Remember, you get what you deserve. So the question is, what do I need to do to deserve a better life, a better house, a better status, better everything? So this is the question you'll be asking yourself. What do I need to do? First, it starts with you, not with anyone else. And if you try to find it with someone else, you'll never be happy. Happiness doesn't come from the outside. It comes from the inside.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So before we go, I want to ask you these two questions, and I'm gonna ask them, both together, and you can answer them the way you want. So, what are you open to give abundantly to the world, and what you are open to receive abundantly from the world? So it can be everything which is coming in your mind. Can be material, can be spiritual, can be mental. What are you open?
Look, I can give the most precious thing I have, and that's my time.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's
And
what
what you're open to receive abundantly.
What I deserve.
Yeah. Okay.
I receive what I deserve. Everything that I deserve, I'm open to receive it because I've earned it, I've deserved it. Whether it's good or bad. You cannot just say, I'm sorry, I'm close to receive bad things. Or if you receive something, then, or it may be bad or event, but it's not bad, because if that event makes you stronger, don't avoid. There was one situation that in the SEAL training, there was all the top, every, if it's 100 trainees, every day, the bottom 10 basically are taken away and say, you were the at the bottom of the table. So what we have a punishment for you. Yeah. What is the punishment? We put you in the circus. And the circus is where you basically, on top of all of your day training of staying in cold mud and running around and training intensely and swimming with the sharks you get basically an extra 3 hours of anesthetics. Wow. And 3 hours of humiliation, basically, of throwing things at you and making you basically crack down and die. And there's one bell. If you ring it, that's it, you're out forever. So you have a choice. And guess what happens? Every day who goes, and then if you do that instead, you're completely dead. And then next day you're more tired, so you're likely to do more circuses. But guess what? The ones that go through several circuses on top of their daily training, eventually they develop muscles. Wow. They become strong. And what happens? They become more resilient. Wow. They are the ones that can withstand much harder storms. So don't avoid the circuses. Remember, the tough situation is the moment for you to develop. Sometimes it may be very difficult and tough because you've never been faced with anything like that, but that's gonna make you build your muscles and become resilient for much, and become an example, inspire others. Remember, in the most toughest situation, you can quit, but if you choose to develop your muscles, he will be proud of your character, that you've prevailed, that you did not give up.
That was super strong for the finish of this conversation. Really, thank you for saying it so vividly, how actually this situation, which you see sometimes as negative, or can help you to become more of what you want to be, then it will help you to excel in life. That's an amazing way of saying it. And the last one is just how do people can reach out to you? Do you have some, place you prefer people if they want to reach out for something they can give or receive from you?
And generally, LinkedIn is a good place to kind of connect, and that's why I'm there on the professional one. Yeah, I do strive to make a difference and help when I can. I can do more and better, of course, and that's the best probably channel to communicate.
Okay, so we'll put your LinkedIn after, below the video and everything, so people can reach out and, try some collaboration or whatever with you. Thank you, Marian, for your time, for your precious time, and for your wisdom here. I'm sure that everyone who listened to that will get a lot out of it, and not only become more optimistic, but also become more, more consistent, more positive, more prosperous, and in general, seeing life in a way that can help them to excel there. Thank you again for your time.
That's their choice, and I'd love to see many of you doing well, guys. Great. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Bye-bye.
God bless. Bye-bye.
So, guys, thank you for your time being here with me and Marian Temelkov. I hope that you got something from it. I'm sure that you got a lot from it, because there were many golden nuggets there in many directions, not only optimism. So if you want to hear more about more episodes of Mindshift, you always can go to my website and listen to this and other episodes and really get inspired for your life. Talk to you next time, and have a great week.